Hey guys, so I'm just gonna record you a quick video on basically what you would need to start content creation, a channel, streaming, anything like that. So I'm basically gonna go through some of the items you need, some of the things you don't need, and how I started and how I got into this. So let's get to it. So I got 8 things here for the stuff that you need. So first things first, you obviously need television. So TV, monitors are cheaper, so I tend to go for those. A lot of them don't come with speakers, so you got to keep that in mind. So I would just go for the cheapest 120 hertz monitor that you can get, especially if you're a console gamer. Most consoles won't go above that anyways, at least currently. Um, so yeah, personally, I have just a curved Acer monitor. It was like less than $200, 27-inch. It's 1080p, 120 hertz. It's all you need. You don't need anything special. The reason why I do say 120 hertz though is because if you ever do plan on upgrading your console, you're gonna hate yourself for not doing that. So, second, the device. That'd be an Xbox, PlayStation, PC, doesn't really matter. Again, you want to try and buy your devices around each other. Like if I were to buy a new TV today, I'd be getting, a higher hertz rate than I currently have, assuming that in the future I'm going to upgrade, even though I currently don't have anything that could support that. So just keep those things in mind when purchasing things. You need a Xbox, PlayStation, PC, something like that. You need yourself a monitor. And the third thing is a capture card. So the capture card is kind of like your limiting factor here. If you have a high-end monitor and a high-end console, but a $50 capture card, your console can only see the capture card. So as far as your console is concerned, if your capture card only supports 60 hertz, it's only going to output 60 hertz because past that point, it wouldn't be able to send the signal on. So you will need to buy a higher end capture card if you do plan on in the future using it in combination with a monitor. So I personally use an Asus capture card. I believe it's the Tough brand, TUF. It's about like 450 Canadian when I bought it. It's pretty expensive, but it can do, I believe, 4K at 60 hertz, 120 hertz at 1080p. It's a good card. Yeah, you'll want to get yourself one of those just for the sake of you will not be able to see your game at its full fidelity that your console will be able to output if you cheap out on your capture card. Because as far as your console is concerned, your capture card is your TV. So you then will need some editing software. Currently, I use Wondershare Filmora, and so I use the paid like bottom tier. Nothing crazy. It's either that or like the middle one. You don't even need to pay for it to make videos, but you will not be able to render them out unless you pay. At least since the last time I purchased. So yeah, essentially you're gonna want to get some kind of editing software. Paid is always better. You will get more features, better updates, and nobody can ever come at you saying you didn't use paid software. Same thing with the thumbnail creation. A lot of the software that I personally use is built right into the computer. I use a mixture of AI online, online editors, as well as the built-in 3D paint built into Microsoft Windows. And that kind of gets into the next one. You're going to need a computer, any kind of computer. It can be a laptop, desktop, could be fast, slow, doesn't really matter. Obviously, the faster it is, the better experience you're going to have. Like, for example, if you have a really good graphics card and you're rendering like a 10-minute video, it could be done in like 2 minutes. But if you're rendering on a CPU and you're using a Celeron, that could take an hour. So, depending on how much kind of content you're trying to push out, that could be your deciding factor on what you purchase right there. The most important part about when purchasing a system to use your like editing rig is lots and lots of hard drive storage, or even SSD storage. Doesn't matter if it's in a hard drive or an SSD. I personally use a hard drive. If you can separate it from your main system, that is always the better thing to do. That way you always have a dedicated folder for all of your videos from your capture card. You always know where they are. Faster the better. SSD is obviously going to be your best option, but a 7000 or 7200 RPM drive will do just fine. Microphone. So as you can see, a microphone. USB is fine. You don't need anything fancy. A lot of programs nowadays, like OBS, will let you put certain filters and like gain controls and stuff on it, so like you can't get too loud, or if you're too quiet, it'll have noise cancellation, stuff like that. And it's not a requirement. You could use a console headset if you really wanted to, but microphones is definitely going to upgrade your sound quality. As far as your viewers are concerned, it's probably one of the first things people will notice. And my last thing, personality. If you're boring, if you're lame, I mean, even sometimes I find I'm kind of boring. Like, I just woke up, I feel a little monotone right now, I don't have a whole lot of energy. You gotta have a personality. If you just sit here and ramble on and don't talk about a whole lot, you have nothing to offer, it doesn't matter how much content you upload, no one's gonna watch it. Hate to break it to you, nobody wants to watch you play video games. If you're already really popular as a streamer, you already have a good personality, or maybe you're just really good at the game, those are some very niche situations where that is the case. But especially during COVID, the amount of friends I have who see me doing YouTube and will come to me and like, hey man, I started streaming. I don't even want to do YouTube. They just want to sit at home and play video games, and they think money's just going to appear. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. So you gotta have a personality. If you got a crappy personality and you're just a mean person, no one's gonna want to stick around and hang out with you. So, what if I don't have or can't afford any of this? How do I start? So, how I did it, because I was once in this position. I once had an apartment where all my roommates left me to pay the rent all on my own. I didn't have a job. And things were rough. I couldn't afford a computer editing software. Quite frankly, I'm pretty sure I sold my Xbox and computer around that time for a short period because I needed to pay my rent. So what I did during those times was I streamed on Twitch. So you stream on Twitch, and you go to download your VODs right from Twitch, from your creator dashboard. And essentially what you're doing is you're using Twitch as a capture card. So as long as you can dial in your quality, I would recommend 480p, 720p to start. If you can handle 1080, then go for the full bitrate. But be wary of copyright audio, especially in games. Like games like Forza love to have copyright audio, so there's times in the past where I've recorded whole videos, went back to go get them, and the audio will be muted. So make sure you're turning off the music and editing in post-editing rather than having it playing while recording. But yeah, essentially you download your VODs, and then you get either some free editing software or you pirate some. Don't pirate, it's bad. And you make your videos no different than you would if you had all those things from before. And a lot of these things can be done on a phone too. Like YouTube came out with what's the app called? Give me 1 second. So YouTube just created their own editing software not too long ago. It is called YouTube Create. That is a perfect alternative to this if that's something you're looking for. The thumbnail creation doesn't have to be hard, doesn't have to be complex. Sometimes you don't even have to do it. Like if I upload something, I always make the thumbnail during the upload process, because sometimes YouTube will just give me a really good thumbnail, and it's wasted time for me because I'll have prepared something that I'm not even going to use. Basically, the rule of thumb is, would you click on it? If you wouldn't click on it, then don't use it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You can upload your edited VODs from Twitch, or even upload full ones to YouTube and enjoy from there. You could start with anything. You don't necessarily need to be a professional or have a professional setup. That doesn't need to be your limiting factor to prevent you from making content. And I tell people this all the time. Like, the longer you wait, the more you're going to hurt yourself, because you're going to have less practice, less content, and it's just going to put you behind. See, at the end of the day, having a YouTube channel, not necessarily about the equipment, it's about the content. It's about you, it's about the personality. A lot of the time, the people aren't there to, you know, they don't care about what you've got in your background. Like right now, I got a half-made bed. I don't care. And you shouldn't either. But anyways, guys, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and see ya.